These are the BERD PolyLight spokes. They were developed with the National Science Foundation under a Small Business Innovation Research grant and hold 2 US patents. They are not really anything like I've ever seen a spoke to be. Your common straight gauge 2.0 steel spoke, these are 64% lighter, which could potentially save you half a pound off your bike, about over a quarter pound per wheel, which is huge because that's rotational weight, which is some of the most important areas to cut weight on your bike. These things are unique, innovative, and interesting, and well, just uncommon. The way they lace is very different. The way they look, the way they feel, everything about them is just unique and unusual. And not only are they way lighter, but they have, according to them, 200% more vibration damping in them. And that gives the wheel a different ride feel. There's just a lot going on with these things, and I'm sure you're wondering right off the bat, are these things strong? Well, take a look at this. These are made of ultra-high molecular weight polyethylene, I hope I said that right, and they are claimed to have 12 times the strength-to-weight ratio of a steel spoke, and they float on water.
Oh my god, no way!
These are the wheels that we've been testing from BERD. It has their own 27 mil internal carbon all-mountain rim, and they ride good. We're gonna talk more about ride later, but more importantly, you're probably curious, are they expensive? Yeah, they're a little bit pricey, but if you're really wanting the highest end, lightest weight stuff, then this is kind of what you get. They do sell complete wheel sets, and when you buy a complete wheel set from BERD, they're actually very reasonably priced. They have about an $1,800, $1,900 all-mountain wheel set, an XC wheel set, gravel bike, fat bike wheel sets, and if you buy the complete wheel sets, actually pretty reasonably priced. If you buy the spokes individually, it's $256 for 32 of them, and that's in comparison to about $30 for 32 steel spokes. So price point's a little bit crazy, but you get what you pay for. The design of these things, the strength of these things, and overall the ride feel and just the innovative technology that they packed into these unusually designed spokes is really, really cool. I've been riding these a bit. They definitely have a unique, good feel to them. They're not flexy. The first thing you think and you see these, you're like, oh my God, those are gonna be flexy. The wheels are gonna fall apart. They're gonna be like noodles. Nah, not at all. If you're blindfolded, you wouldn't tell the difference. They do have a bit of a damped feel. It's not super crazy. You're not gonna just immediately jump on and think, oh my God, this is wildly different, but it does have a nice damped feel. It'd be interesting to test it with more and various different rims. But I'm gonna bring in Jared and Liam because they've got a lot of hours on these things thus far to talk a little bit more about the ride feel. All the specs, all the other information for this, because it is pretty technical, check out the link below in the video description for all of that info. All right, Jared, what'd you think of those wheels?
I actually really liked these wheels on my bike. I did not want to take them off, and I do not want to send them back to BERD, so.
You will never get this, you will never get this, la 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 la.
I ran these on my SB115, and I could instantly tell how much weight they took off the bike, how quickly the bike accelerated with these on there, and I definitely could notice some of that. You're gonna say something.
That's a point. Acceleration.
Acceleration.
That's huge, because when I rode those, same thing. Whenever you put a lighter set of wheels on your bike and you go to pedal, that acceleration is what changes the most. But that's almost different than putting on a lighter tire or a lighter rim.
Right.
All the spokes are so much lighter that the acceleration.
Totally. I could notice that all of my power just translated directly to the ground, which was super cool. And I could definitely notice some of that damping for sure, but maybe not as much as maybe the Zip 3.0 Moto in terms of compliance on the trail. But definitely the major takeaway for me was how much weight it took off the bike and just how fast the bike just rode. I was getting PRs all over the place that I'm probably never gonna get again because the bike was so light and so fast.
Did you have to trim after you rode them?
I did not have to trim after I rode them.
And you weigh?
190 pounds. Probably 195,
pounds.
With gear and after a couple beers. Yeah. But
rode them good, rode them hard.
Rode them good, rode them hard.
They survived.
They are still true. I was really surprised, and definitely, I'm a believer. They're pretty sweet.
It's a mind bender because you see these wheels and you go like this with these spokes, and then you ride them and you're like, oh, it's all good. So, well, let's see what Liam thought.
All right, so as Jeff and Jared said, We have countless hours on these guys. I think between the three of us, we have over 50 hours on these wheels. And one of the first things I noticed was definitely the weight and acceleration. But one thing that I kept noticing over and over and over was the rolling speed of these wheels. The rolling speed was like something I've never felt before, lighter and better than some of my XC race wheels. Even with the same tires that I run on my normal Revel Ranger, which is what I tested these on, the rolling speed is pretty insane. Any like slight slope up, slight slope down, the rolling speed just like kept blowing me away, as well as cornering speed. Not only the speed you can carry through corners, but being able to accelerate immediately out of corners is pretty incredible on these wheels. Another thing is pretty durable. We haven't had to true these once between all three of us riding them. Not even, you know, bringing them back up to tension, not even a couple little wobbles after the first rides. We haven't touched them once, and they're rolling perfectly true and still in great tensions. And the last thing is just kind of along with the durability is they're stiff. You don't notice that, you know, you got these featherweight spokes on when you're pushing them into a corner. So it kind of has my wheels spinning on what hub and rim combos I can do with the BERD spokes being laced up with them. So they're definitely a cool, unique offering that you can start messing around with and shave some weight on your XC bike, your downcountry bike, or your trail bike.
So there you have it. If you want the world's lightest bicycle spokes and arguably, in my opinion, the most innovative and creative bicycle spokes, BERD PolyLight, really cool stuff. I love seeing unique products like this come out in the bike industry. And although they might be pricey, you get what you pay for. They are crazy light and really cool. Not the easiest to build the wheels, so pay attention to that if you're trying to custom build a wheel set. Currently they make these things in black and white, and building your own wheel set with these is a bit complicated the way you have to kind of mess with the hub flange, but just something to consider. If you really like these things, dig into that article below in the video description, and thank you guys for watching. See you next time.
Well, a bird, 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 a bird, well, a bird, 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 a bird, well, a bird, 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 bird.